What's good, my lovely peoples? It's your main man Solace here, the humble servant of the life. Today I want to do this video on time travel in space-time. Now, I hear a lot of people speak of time travel, but they speak of it in a sci-fi movie, time machine sort of way. And the reason this is because they have no true understanding of the life. So they have nothing to anchor them down from drifting off into their own reality. So it is almost in this day and time, we speak of things but never see if they correlate or are good for the life. You never think and say, does this make sense in life? But we do this because we don't understand life. And this is why. But let me break down this video. Now, we view time as one thing. And we view space as what's up above, which is another thing. And we view the time and space differently from the time here. So we would say space-time is space-time, and time here is time here, and time and space are two different things. And this is wrong. See, space and time is the exact same thing, but we don't have any understanding on things, so we separate everything. But space and time is the same thing, just two different words, but you truly don't understand either. So you see space as what's up above, but truly space is that, but truly space is what is in between physical matter. So you have to grasp, me here in the phone that I'm recording from, what's in between us is space. Now, what is time? Time is what is in between two spaces. So you have to grasp that. When a clock ticks, it moves from one space. It moves from one thing in the space to the next thing. So it skips the space and goes to the next hand or marking in the clock. So time is truly the distance between two things in space. And space is what is between two physical things. So you have to grasp. They are one and the same. I don't know why the dictionaries and scientists speak of them separately, but they're one and the same. Now you have to understand, if I'm standing 6 feet apart from a person, space is in between us. But truly it is a matter of time. How long or how many steps it'll take me to reach that person. Now if you're talking about light, light will reach that person faster than me. Word will reach that person faster than me. So you have to grasp, the light is lighter than the word. But they're both things in space, just like I am. But the light is lighter than the word in me, so it'll reach the other thing faster. The word is heavier than the light, but it is lighter than me, so it'll reach it faster. And I am me, so I'll reach it maybe 4 or 5 steps, 2 seconds, but that is how much space or time that separates us. So you must grasp, they're one and the same. There's truly no difference. The reason scientists can't figure certain things out is because of the perspective they're looking at it, and they separate a lot of things. But everything is truly simple. So you have to understand, why is it when a man travels to Japan or somewhere, their time is different than ours? Because like I said, space and time is the same. So the amount of space Japan is from us is the amount of time they are away. And the amount of time they are away is truly all there is. So when a person goes from America to Japan, they're traveling forward in time. And this is why the Japanese are technologically advanced and ahead of us, etc., etc. Because they're actually ahead in time. But we only look at it as they're separated from us by space, not correlating the two to get complete understanding that they are this distance of space away from us. And that boils down to time. So if they're this amount of space away from us, that would make their time either behind us or ahead of us. And in that will deal with if they're ahead of time or behind in time in correlation to us. So you have to grasp, if a person is being chased, let's say I'm being chased, and you're about 20 feet behind me, I am ahead of time than you are. And in that, I can alter your time and space. Meaning I could throw a garbage as I'm running behind me. This will alter your space in your time of closing the gap. Now you have to hop over the garbage, you might trip. So I have control over your space and time, being as though I am ahead. So you have to grasp this. Because this is all very important when you're dealing with missiles and nukes. And the way we're bombing each other, you have to understand who is ahead in time if nukes and things are pressed. It's a deep thing. Japan could press their nuke button after us. But you have to remember they're ahead in time. So it's a deep thing. Our perception has to be corrected. We have our perception completely off. It's just like when they send the rovers to Mars, if they even do. But when they send the rovers to Mars, when they send back the images, Mars always looked like a barren planet. But they have no understanding that space and time is one and the same. So if you're sending the rover a certain amount of light years away, meaning you're sending it somewhere that's a certain amount of light years away, well, that's how many light years back in time you're going. So when we send the rover to Mars, you're going back in time. And this is why it looks that way. You have no clue what's happening on Mars now. And you probably won't ever figure it out, being as though you see time and space as separate. So it's a deep thing we must grasp. If you're following scientists and they know not, then you will know not. And your theories and things you think of to help them will make no sense neither. So it's a deep thing. We got to grasp this. It's a truly simple but deep thing. Anytime you're traveling somewhere, you're going either forward or behind in time. So if they truly wanted to time travel, all they needed to understand was the two were the same. And then a person could travel around the earth 3 or 4 times and be back in time or forward in time. It's just like when you sleep. You're traveling through time. You don't know how long you've been asleep until you look at the clock. Other than that, you went from one day to the next in a blink of a second. So you have to grasp how deep this is and how the minds are not working. And this is why we're not getting anywhere in anything but destruction. Because we're not understanding what we're doing. So we're doing things the wrong way. And we're seeing things completely the wrong way. It's just like space-time. We think time here in space-time is different. And this is because we don't understand the life. See, you have to understand. Space-time and here time is truly not different, but what you're dealing with is micro and macro. So, 1 minute in space, outer space, is like 100 or 1,000 years in our time. But it's truly not a separate thing. You're dealing with micro to macro, and there's no correlation to that in people's brains, so they don't understand. The time for something macro is going to be different for the time for something in the micro. You figure one step for something in the macro would cover 1,000,000 miles in the micro. So if time is space, it would take a micro life a long time to cover 1,000,000 miles. But it'll take a micro being just one step. So his time is different because of his size. So when you're dealing with space and the time out there, you have to understand once a man's in space, the time is different. But not because they're different, but because he's in a micro environment now. So what you truly see in outer space is not what you truly see. It's just like micro cell life. You are not physical matter to micro cell life. They can go through your pores and out, and you're not physical because you're too big. Meaning the smallest pimple-sized pore holes in you are bigger than the micro cell life. So you look like nothing but just space. So you have to grasp perception in time, in size, in anything you're doing. But many of you probably not even grasp what I just said. Mind you, it's a simple thing. It's your main man Solace. I got to go.